Good afternoon. Oh. Hope everyone is doing good. Oh, jeez. It is hot. It is a hot one today. It's been hot, but it's probably hotter to me since my truck doesn't have AC, so it's a hot one. I've been thinking a little bit about, the switch up that I am undergoing. Sorry, I'm trying to stretch my feet out a little bit. My left heel has been giving me issues, but I was sort of researching today just how much you can kind of up your mileage. And honestly, I probably didn't start this whole, running thing smart. Because before that first video, I hadn't ran in 3 months, and what I was running was about 2 miles a week. Right? So I just kind of jumped into it. Was like, let's go 4 miles a day, baby, let's roll. And that was kind of my thought. I could handle it because I was at one point doing 3 to 6 miles, and I think it's caught up to me where it's just like my left leg has been giving me problems, but not to the point of like not running, but I can definitely tell like, okay, something's off a little bit with my leg for sure, because it's even hurting when I'm walking. Right now it's not hurting, but I think it's because I've backed down, because I don't want to get hurt, and nor do I want anybody else getting hurt. And so that's a big reason as to why I have cut it down to 2 miles a day for now, because of that. Like, to be completely honest, like, I was feeling good, right? And I can run through pain, but if I'm being smart about it, it's probably not a good idea to continue upping the mileage. And I wasn't going to. I was going to stay with 4 miles for at least 2 months. But even that, I think that was just, not every one of my runs were redlining, but it was definitely in threshold pace. I was in the yellow the majority of my runs. So that's probably not good either. But you've got to start somewhere, right? And you really need to start smarter than I did. Like, I should not have said I'm going to be running, dang near 4 miles a day, twice a day. I probably shouldn't have done that if we're being smart, because I'm a very, like, okay, well, shoot, if, I need to be running every day 6 miles a day, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to help me the most. It's not. I don't have a coach. I don't have anything like that. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm just trying to make this a daily habit. But I become obsessed with things where it's like, well, shoot, if I was averaging 4 miles a day, 6 miles a day, 10 miles a day, how fast would my pace drop? The answer is, yeah, probably pretty fast, but your body's going to give out substantially faster than, your lungs and your aerobic system can handle the pace, but your body can't. Your ligaments, your tendons, all that stuff, your body's going to give out. And so, I'm going to put you on the head. Let's get going, because these flies are kind of bothering me. I'm going to outrun the flies today. Just kidding, we're not going to outrun the flies. We're going to take it easy, because, we gotta sustain 2 miles, 4 miles a day. So eventually we're gonna bump it back up, right, to about 4 miles a day. But at this time, I'm trying to take it easy because I don't want to completely sideline myself. All right, you guys are looking good up there. Let's roll. You know, like sidelining myself would be not smart. You know, for somebody who basically went from, you know, running 2 miles a week, huffing and puffing usually, to 4 miles a day. You know, that's a pretty big difference. I probably shouldn't have done that, but like I said, I kind of become, you know, obsessed with things where it's just like, well, how fast can we get the pace down? What's the quickest we can do this? Not even thinking, well, frick, you know, not even thinking about my body. I was just kind of saying, frick it, let's just do it. And that's not a good approach. Now, if you, you know, you have that David Goggins mindset, you know, you do you. That's all I'm going to say. But, you know, there's this other aspect of also just staying fit for my kids. You know, like I took this morning off. I didn't run because of my heel. Because my heel was killing me. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not fixing to run on my heel. So I said, well, I'm not going to run this morning. I'll just run in the afternoon. Maybe it'll, you know, figure itself out. And it did. Now it doesn't hurt. But I have to say, I was up, you know, at 4:30, 4:25, ready to run, kind of. And then got up out of bed and felt my heel and was like, no, I'm not ready to run. So, you know, holy shoot. And we're going pretty fast, so we need to slow down. But I so want to run, you know, like I want to go a lot faster than I feel like my body's willing to go. And that's the trial. It's like I want to be at a, you know, 10-minute pace, a 9-minute pace right now. So my body's like, well, force it. Well, if you do that, you're going to risk getting hurt. You know, and I don't want to risk getting hurt. So we got to focus on the longevity of this. You know, what could be happening in 4 years from now if I just remain steady at, you know, and just gradually increase, you know, the mileage. What are we going to be at? You know, so I've had to like really just kind of ground myself in talking to myself like that. Like, you know, it's okay to take a step back. You know, like I've constantly had to say, you know, especially for men, right? I'm a guy, I'm a man. It's so easy for us to just be like, frick the pain, let's just run and we can do it, right? Like I've literally ran down a daggum mountain with my ankle broke, hurting really bad, but because I'm with this group of guys, I can't say anything. You know, like, oh yeah, I just rolled my ankle, it's good. No, I fractured it, I broke it. And the shoot hurt, like bad. I could barely walk on it, and I had to pretend like nothing happened, and that sucked. But, you know, that was my bad. I should have said something, but I didn't. Because I didn't want to be a boop. But that's not. You hurt yourself. You can actually say you hurt yourself. I can't run down the freaking mountain. You know? Now, I ran down the mountain, you know, with throbbing pain. I didn't even look at my ankle when I did it, because that's just the way I am. I'm like, well, shoot, you can't do anything about it right now, so you might as well just suck it up and run. So that's what I did. And when I got down the mountain, that sucker was swollen so bad it looked like a baseball, you know? Like, it was huge, you know? And I just rubbed it off, like, I'll be okay, you know? Sure enough, that's exactly what I did. For 3 or 4 days in the mountains, acting like nothing happened. It wasn't smart. Because that ankle 2 days still gives me issues some days. You know, but I don't think that that's a good outlook, right? I'm not saying that I was right and correct at saying that, you know, I did the right thing. I'm saying I don't want that to happen again. Even for the YouTube channel, like, I'm not going to have that happen. So, and if I did, then I would just say, hey, I freaking rolled my ankle. I'm not running today. You know, or, you know, my heel hurts, so I'm on the video telling you I didn't run this morning because of that. But also, I told you yesterday that we're going to bump it down to 1, you know, 2 mile. Depending on how I'm feeling, I may do, you know, 1 4 mile Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. But for now, it's going to stick with 2 miles because I think I definitely shouldn't, you know, have I shouldn't have said I was going to do 4 miles a day. That wasn't very smart on my behalf. Now, can I do it? Yes, obviously. You've been seeing me do it. Have I been in pain? Some runs, yes, and some runs, no. You know, does that mean it's okay if I'm in pain? Probably not. You know, I probably still shouldn't run 4 miles just because I'm not in pain. So, because my leg thing was progressively kind of getting worse every run. So, that's why I was like, okay, hold on. And not to mention the occasional second run was always just like a pain in the bumski because, you know, life happens and you're like, dang it, I gotta squeeze this run in real quick. So, overall, I think I made the right decision. It's gonna be more sustainable this way. I'm thinking about the longevity, you know, how long can we sustain running? Like, I'm not just a guy, you know, I'm trying to stay healthy, I'm trying to stay fit, I'm trying to stay, you know, fit for the kids, and I want to get faster, you know. I want a 7:30 mile, 9-minute easy pace, you know. I got goals, so you're gonna be smart about what I'm doing and not just flipping, go out there and say, I'm gonna go run a marathon with no practice. That's how you get hurt. Because then you're just trying to keep up with the big boys and you can't. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm not ashamed of this, but if I were to try to run a marathon right now, I would get wrecked. I would purposely, the way I would run a marathon right now, I would purposely walk and run it. I would not run it. There's no way I would even try to run it. I would do it, but I would run and walk it. It's the only way it could be done with me. So, you gotta start somewhere. And for me, I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Even in, shoot, what is it, day 27? Yes, day 27 of me running every day. Whether that's 2 miles or 4 miles, I'm very happy with the results. That's what matters. Now, it's not worth it if you end up sidelined for 4 months. You know, it's not worth it. So that's why I gotta I'm pivoting. I'm changing it up. You know, everybody working out doesn't lift 300 pounds their first time from not working out. Now they got to build up to it. So this is my journey of running. And I think we're doing a dang good job. You know, I'm right now fluctuating between right now I'm at 10:55 pace at 143 heart rate. Shoot, there's no way I would have been able to sustain that on the first run. It just wasn't gonna happen. And honestly, we need to slow it down. High-speed internet included in the cost. But I'll tell you what, running after working versus running in the morning is always better to me because I've got it out of the way and I'm not sweating as much. But running after work, you're usually super fatigued from not eating. Well, I am. You know, not eating all day or eating at like 9 o'clock and then not eating all day. Oh, excuse me. Because if I do eat something, my first mile was done at, I don't even know, 11:30. My heart rate was 130. So, it's not bad. But, yeah, so I would much rather bust out a 2-mile run in the morning than after work. If I had to pick. But I always feel better on the first run than I usually do on the second. Now that could also be what I eat. Or the fact that I've also walked, 4, 5, 6 miles, ran 2 miles, walked, 4 to 6 miles at work, and then I'm on my second run of the day. Of course the second run's going to be a little bit harder than the first. But this is what we're working with. Go ahead. Thank you. So you gotta do what you're working with. And, as much as I really want to continue running 4 miles a day. I don't want to be sidelined. So we're going to work with 2 miles a day. Bust them out. Next week, we might do 2.5 miles. I don't know. And then 3 miles. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I feel good with sticking with 2 miles right now. So I feel good. I think my easy pace is definitely dropping because right now I'm at 43 heart rate according to the Coro Space 4. I'm running a 11-minute mile flat. So it's not bad. I don't have my mic. So I gotta go get my mic. But I feel like the audio sounds pretty decent even without my mic. But I want to get the mic back because it sounds way better with the mic in my opinion. not stopping to eat them. Just a forewarning. If I see blackberries or raspberries, I will stop and eat them. So, shame me if you want. I'm really enjoying running. And I hope you are too. Whoever's running with me or is out there running. And if you've started running, good. Let's do it. Let's get on the journey together. Run together. Oh, it's a hot one. It's 91 degrees. It's been in the 90s every day here. So the afternoon runs are, pretty rough. If I'm being honest. They're not the funnest because I'm also outside all day. I'm a yard jockey driver, so I am fully submerged in the weather. And sometimes these trucks don't have AC. So I gotta deal with, being at work for 8 hours a day and AC that works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't work because it's so daggum hot outside. The truck just won't cool you down. So you pretty much sweat all day. And then you come, run 2 miles. Not to mention, my personal truck does not have AC either. So I'm really feeling the heat today. I gotta get that fixed. So there's just no escape from the heat today, is what I'm trying to say. See, this is probably not smart for me to run in this grass. You roll an ankle, sideline you for a couple of days. But I'm going slow so that I don't do that. Shoot, in the third or fourth video, I rolled my ankle. In the video. And that shoot hurt for 3 days. Same ankle that I flipped and rolled on the mountain. Squirrel? Must have been a squirrel. Oh man, I'm feeling hungry. I need to go eat some food. Oh, we're kind of pushing it. Slow down a little bit. Any blackberries to relieve me from running? Any blackberries? Raspberries. Relieve me from running. Excuse me. Yeah, we're doing good. I used to not even be able to run a mile without even stopping. Now I can run 6 to 13 miles without stopping. But I'm not going to do that. But I'm wondering if my feet hurt and my leg hurts, because on a couple of these runs I was genuinely pushing myself, like there wasn't necessarily an extremely easy run. I was always in like the 145, 50s, a couple 70s range on almost every run without even, like right now I'm at 150. Like I'm in the yellow zone, you know? I need to slow down. But, you know, it could be because I've worked an 8-hour shift. So there's a whole bunch of things that can play into my heart rate and stuff. The heat, I'm probably dehydrated. There's all sorts of things. So I try to keep it slow, but my 18-year-old body is like, keep going. Go! You can run faster than that, you stinker. And I'm like, no, I can't. I need to calm down. And now I'm trying to convince myself that I'm not 18 anymore. You know? But I think as long as I'm not pushing myself super hard, I'll be okay, even if my heart rate's in the yellow. Oh, God. Because, like, I feel good right now. I'm able to talk, you know? I'm at 11:14 pace, 152 heart rate, but there's multiple reasons why that could be, but I feel good, you know, so I just keep running. I also don't think that these heart rate monitors are accurate. But I definitely know that there's been some questionable runs as far as me pushing myself. I absolutely was pushing myself probably way too hard. But it just comes with it. In order to progress, you kind of have to push yourself a little bit. But there's been a couple of those runs where I probably was like too hard. But I was just having fun with it. That's okay. So alrighty. Alright. That's that, baby. We knocked it out. Okay. 28 minutes. I've been recording for 28 minutes. These squirrels are just chilling next to me. They vanished in the thin air. Alright, so it was a good run. 2 miles down at an average of 11:33 pace. Sorry, I'm trying to... What the heck? Zone 3 was 12 minutes. Zone 1 was 6 minutes. Zone 3 was 4 minutes. Average heart rate was 155. So, I don't know how my average heart rate was 155, but whatever. So, I definitely need to probably try to do better on the heart rate stuff, but like I said, there's probably a lot that goes into my heart rate, you know, being high. Obviously, after an 8-hour shift of walking, you know, 4 to 6 miles, and then, you know, not eating probably has a part to do with it. But if somebody were to ask me, are you carbing correctly? I'd be like, heck no. I just get out there and run. I don't carb correctly. I'm only running 2 miles a day. So if I was running, I've said this in other videos, but if I was doing 6 miles a day, my butt would be at a gas station somewhere getting some bread or anything, right? Because I have experienced what I would say would be like a runner's fatigue while you're running, where you need to walk, and that usually hits me around, if I don't eat anything, that's hitting me at like 5 miles if I don't eat. So the last mile is just horrible because I'm all shaky and I just feel out of whack. So all right, so that was it. That was the run. We did it. We knocked it out. Like I've said, if you stay till the end, we're going to be doing 1 video a day to try to let my legs, you know, heal, and my feet heal a little bit. I think I've definitely been pushing it a little bit too hard on the 4 miles a day. You know, and maybe, you know, this is going to change. You know, maybe we'll go back to it once we feel ready to. But as of right now, I'm trying to let my heel and my leg heal. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the run. Heck yeah, we did it. We conquered. I feel good. My leg feels good. My heel feels good. So I think I did the right thing at not running this morning. My heel and my foot was killing me. So alrighty, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. All right.